Darpan, I want to ask about the newspaper. Many aspirants give this information that they read 2 newspaper. What was your strategy, Darpan and Shubhamji, also yours, on a newspaper? How important newspapers are for a civil services aspirant?
The newspapers form the foundation of each and every individual's knowledge, and they are important not just for UPSC aspirants, but otherwise also. However, that said, I would like to add a caveat over here. So some of the candidates whom I've met previously, they say that they have dedicated around 2 to 3 hours also per day to a newspaper. That is just that, then that way you should just jettison the newspaper and not read it at all if you're spending that much of time. Because at the end of the day, you have to see the cost benefit analysis. You have to fetch each and every mark. It matters whether you come into the list, service, cadre and everything. So I would say that one should spend around 45 minutes onto the newspaper and current affairs. And then adding on to the newspaper and the current affairs would be Government of India websites like PIB. So that was my approach to the newspaper, and reading only what is relevant to UPSC syllabus.
That is a very smart approach, Darpan, I must say, because devoting 3 hours on newspaper, that means you are losing out some other aspects, which is going to cost you in the examination. So apart from hard work, I think smart work is also required. Now, coming to the second section, in prelims also, I want to ask one thing, that there is a proper questions which are asking about the maps, the position of certain areas which are popping up in the news. So do you prepare something extraordinarily, for map, for sort of like if Red Sea is in news, so there may be certain cities which are in news. So do you prepare for maps specifically, or like it is on your NCRT or your knowledge of the geography help you in that map wala questions?
So I really think in this UPSC journey, my stress buster, my best friend has been the Atlas only. So every day before sleeping, I used to devote around 10 to 15 minutes to the Atlas. So I was well versed with, say, each and every continent. I used to revise, say 1 week to Africa, I've given 1 week to North America. And then if something pops up in the newspaper, then I go back to my map and then I revise it again. So that's the way one should be best friends with the Atlas, because what is happening is that these days map questions are increasing, and they're really, if you really mark them, it can really take your marks really high. And so I think Atlas every day 10 to 15 minutes is welcome.
I think it's a very welcome step to the aspirants who are listening, that giving certain time to the Atlas, even at the time when you're about to lay down on the bed, like 10 to 15 minutes you can spare for Atlas, and it will give you, I think, 10 to 15 additional marks. So what do you think, Shubhamji, about the Atlas, the role it played in the geography, especially the questions which are appearing on a regular basis about the maps?
Sir, I was not very good with the map work, but I certainly devoted some time to Atlas, especially before the prelims. Additionally, I also reverse engineered this. In a way, I visited several coaching websites, as all people do, online initiatives, etc., to do daily MCQs, and whatever locations were appearing in them, I made a note out of it in my OneNote. So by the time prelims approached, I had a handy list of 50-60 locations with me, especially in West Asia and Southeast Asia. So sometimes some locations were repeated in the paper, sometimes not, but they gave me a fair idea of the situation.